I was at 75% mana, and I used some prayer of healings. It does big healing though. Like, it does quite big healing. Like, watch this. Holy Word, Prayer of Healing, Holy Word, Prayer of Healing. Everyone's topped, and it only took me 4 spells to top everyone. So, call it a mana waste if you want, but I don't know, that felt pretty good. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the Prayer of Healing changes and whether I think Prayer of Healing is a viable build now. So, I think it's probably something Archon should strongly consider because Archon's #1 weakness is AoE healing. I was playing it today as Oracle because I also wanted to see like how much prayer of mending I was getting and like uh, how high I could keep the prayer of mendings. So I did like 4 keys with the prayer of healing build, and let's go to Floodgate 13. So in Floodgate 13 overall, so I cast it 75 times versus casting heal 61 times, and Flash heal 192. So I did overcast Flash heal a little bit. Um, you would normally like to see like your heal plus prayer of healing, or your heal is relatively close to Flash heal if you're not spec'd into prayer of healing. But regardless, you see right here normal hits uh, of prayer of healing were doing 685,000 average, and they were doing 2 million on a normal hit um, on the main target. So if we look at heal as the comparison, which is what you would be casting instead of Prayer of Healing, because they both trigger from Lightweaver, you see 2.1 million is the max hit from heal, and 1 million hit from the normal hits, right? So, I mean, 2 million is nothing to sneeze at. Like, and it's doing the 2 million on the main target, and then it's doing like the 700,000 on all 5 other targets. So, it's actually doing some pretty substantial healing per cast, and I think that's pretty worth it. So what I gave up to spec into Prayer of Healing,
Maldas. Mending second on meter seems unreal.
oh yeah, and then also Prayer of Mending 15% overall, plus 3%, so 18% overall. Oh, it's not 15, it's 9% overall. That was I was reading the crit. So 9% overall plus 3%, so that's 12% overall just from Prayer of Mending, because I cast one Power Word Shield, so basically every single Power Word Shield is from the Prayer of Mending. So 147 casts of Prayer of Mending. That's quite a bit. I was casting it pretty well on cooldown, and it's doing a lot of work. Normally on this was in a level 13 key, my piety would be at like 10%, but I was really trying to do showcase like the Prayer of Healing and how well it's doing. And yeah, so Prayer of Healing is doing a lot of work. So let's just go over the Prayer of Healing talents. So you have after you cast a yellow holy word, you get 20% uh, cost reduction in terms of time and mana, and then your primary target is healed for 100 for over 100% of the regular heal. So that's why we saw that 2 million max hit on this thing. So it's doing as much as a heal on the main target. It just costs a lot more. It's like it's an expensive resource, but if you're um if you're disciplined and you really just like are using it after a holy word. So this is the third talent that's pretty critical to understand. So resonant words, after you cast a holy word, it increases the healing of your next heal, flash heal, or prayer of healing by 40%, which is huge. And then Lightweaver increases healing done by 18%. So that's like 58%. So you're doing 60% more healing if you are casting an empowered prayer of healing. And most of the casts of prayer of healing, I would say in this dungeon, so I cast 75 of them. I would say probably 70 or 65 at there might have been like 10 times I cast a prayer of healing that wasn't max empowered. So like the rotation for AoE healing is something like you cast so you make sure you have Lightweaver up. So let's get 4 stacks of Lightweaver. We'll go yellow Holy Word, Prayer of Healing. Blue Holy
Maldas.
Word, Prayer of Healing.
4 million crit damn son.
Yellow Word, Prayer of Healing. Blue Word, Prayer of Healing. And so what I was seeing is like in Darkflame Cleft, I was seeing the yellow Holy Word, Prayer of Healing, Prayer of Healing. Uh, those 3 spells were topping the entire group. And the second one wasn't a super empowered Prayer of Healing. Uh, so I think it's a really, really, really strong recovery talent. If you're playing pugs and the whole group drops low, you can just recover with a yellow Holy Word, Prayer of Healing, blue Holy Word, Prayer of Healing, and people are topped. And it, it would take like 2 extra casts to top the entire group with a Lightweaver build that doesn't include Prayer of Healing. So, um, yeah, I think Prayer of Healing is definitely worth picking up. Um, the downside is the mana cost. So I did uh I did Candle King boss in Darkflame Cleft, and we made it 3 minutes and 15 seconds into the fight before they let a fear go off, and then the druid died, and then I think the tank died because he had the ability where he has to get behind a candle and use the frontal from the boss to kill the candle. I think he stood in the candle was his death. So we didn't complete the boss, which is fine. It was a 14, and I just was kind of trying out a new build. But um, bottom line was, at 3 minutes and 15 seconds into the fight, I was kind of almost out of mana. And what I should have done is I should have asked the druid to innervate me before the fight started. I should have said, hey, I want to innervate once during this fight so I can, make it 4 minutes into the fight or however long it's going to be. Because I mean, that fight should have been basically dead. Like, by 3:15 into the fight, you really expect the boss to be at sub 10%. And when the boss is sub 10%, then you can suicide as a holy priest and get unlimited mana for the time being, and you should be able to finish the fight. Usually on Candle King, I end up having to do that. So I'm not saying that the mana efficiency was all that bad, but I cast 9 Prayer of Healings, and this really should have been like 6. I really should have only done it very, very sparingly because of the mana consumption thing that I'm worried about. So, yeah, that's kind of my take on Prayer of Healing. I think it's a lot better than it was. I think it's definitely worth taking. If you're in that level 10 or level 8 through level 14 bracket, I think you could take it every single dungeon and be fine. Um, if you're trying to do like the highest level keys for Holy Priest, I would probably just I think I'd take it in Priory. Um, I think Floodgate, Priory, Workshop. Yeah, I think Floodgate, Priory, and Workshop. Those are the heavy AoE dungeons. Um, so I'd probably take it in those. But when you're doing the single target dungeons, it's probably better to have Empowered Renew. It's probably better to have at 50% health, your heal is going to be doing 7% more healing. So, or at 50% mana with Everlasting Life. So, like, I would lean still into my single target healing profile for those dungeons, but yeah, for the 3 dungeons that have heavy AoE checks, which is Floodgate, Priory, and Workshop, I think the Prayer of Healing build is probably really, really solid. So, I'm going to be using Prayer of Healing in Workshop. It felt pretty darn good on 14 Floodgate, So I think I might switch to that for Holy Priest Floodgates. But like Theater of Pain, I don't really see a need for it. Dark Flame, like there is a need for it, but on the boss you would need it the most. You really can't afford it unless you have a druid. If you have a druid who's going to innervate you, then yeah, sure, take Prayer of Healing in this dungeon. So that's 4 dungeons: Floodgate, Dark Flame, Priory, Workshop. That I would maybe recommend Prayer of Healing. Anyways, so appreciate you guys watching. I'll try to give my updates on the talent builds that I think are going well, and hopefully tomorrow I'll have my Oracle Disc Priest or Oracle Holy Priest guide out. Anyways, thanks for watching. A little bonus content. Holy Nova is doing big damn. Big damn. Overall, 14 Floodgate, 991,000 is an Oracle, 77 casts of Holy Holy Nova, doing more than 91 casts of Holy Fire. And Holy Nova used to be like somewhere around here, like 14%-ish, and now doing 22%. That's big. Like that's really big. Like now our pad damage is going to be high and people will love us because we do pad damage. So good job, Blizzard. The more pad damage we do, the more people will think we're actually like super strong.